What up, what up, what up, world? Welcome back to the Mic Check Podcast. You are now in the booth with Quinton. As everybody knows, we're going to be reviewing the Sonny Edwards unanimous decision victory over Andres Campos this past weekend in London, England. Sonny Edwards was defending his IBF 112 or flyweight world title. It is his fourth or fifth, I believe it's his fifth defense of the world title, the IBF title, since he's won that belt just over 2 years ago. Sonny Edwards obviously is now signed with and had a strong performance, in my opinion. It was not his best performance necessarily, but his performance against Andres Campos was one that was of entertainment value. While you didn't get a knockout, you didn't get any knockdowns in that fight against Campos, it was pretty much what I expected. Campos was strong, he was tough, he was durable, he moved forward, he was on the front foot at all times, but it was clear that Sonny Edwards was the better counter, the more accurate puncher, and he was able to hit Campos at times coming in, as well as at times when Sonny wanted to be the aggressor in that fight. There were a few rounds that I did give to Campos based on sheer volume alone, but there was not really ever a time in the fight where you thought that Sonny Edwards is teetering on being stopped or was really ever hurt. This fight was the initial fight for Sonny Edwards on a Matchroom contract. The Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, as well as the Zone, done a lot to invest in the super flyweight as well as the flyweight division, 112 and 115. So for Sonny Edwards moving forward in this this trajectory that he's on with Matchroom, it's obvious that the two guys that more than likely will be looking to fight Sonny Edwards next to grab his title will be Bam Rodriguez, as well as Jose Cesar Martinez. So obviously both of those two guys are champions in the same division as Sonny Edwards. Julio Cesar Martinez. I said Jose. Julio Cesar Martinez, WBC champion, as well as Bam Rodriguez, who recently won the vacant WBO title at 112 pounds. Those fights are equally interesting fights to me, while I do believe that Sonny's style is probably tailor-made for Martinez, because Martinez is very similar to Campos in that he is a wild, hooking pressure fighter. Bam Rodriguez is a better boxer. He's a much more versatile athlete, as well as a strategist. So obviously he has probably what I would consider to be one of the better trainers in Robert Garcia, who was a world champion of his own, helped his younger brother Mikey become a multi-weight world champion, and obviously he's been training Bam Rodriguez throughout the duration of his career and his time with Matchroom. So that's going to be a really good fight. It looks like that one is the one that's going to get signed. Sonny did call Bam out on the post-fight interview, and Sonny did respond on multiple platforms that I saw on Sunday. He did on Instagram as well as on Twitter, saying that, okay, let's get it on. Interesting, I actually would like to see Bam Rodriguez get a Artem Dulakian fight, have Sonny Edwards fight Julio Cesar Martinez for the WBC title. Artem Dulakian, who is the only other remaining champion, has the WBC title. Get that guy to fight Bam. Let's see if he unifies. It's fight Julio, unifies. And then you got the number one and the number two guys with two belts each, so that we can get a Ring Magazine, lineal, and undisputed world champion. I think the issue with the way that Matchroom is kind of going about it at this time is probably that they're trying to put the number one and the number two guy in there ASAP, which makes sense because I'm sure both of those guys have other things they'd like to do in their careers. But as far as this division is concerned, if the number one and the number two guy fight each other, they're much less likely to go and then want to fight Dulakian or to fight Julio Cesar Martinez, just because those two guys are not seen as higher rated than them. And if they've already beaten the other top two guy in their division, whoever wins that fight between Bam and Sonny would more than likely be probably looking towards bigger money fights and fighting the guys at 115, whether you're talking about Chocolatito, Juan Francisco Estrada, or any guys up at that weight. The overall Sonny was a strong performance for Sonny Edwards. in his Matchroom debut. Did seem to be a decent crowd at the OVO Wembley Arena. I think they sold just over 7,000 tickets, I believe, is what the total count. So decent crowd for a flyweight in a main event. You don't typically get a lot of big draw crowds for guys that small. Anything pretty much below 126 go under the radar for boxing fans. But it was a great fight to watch, and I do encourage anybody to go back and check it out. Entertainment throughout. I believe I did give Campos in that fight, I think I gave him 3 rounds, and all 3 judges, I think, except for one, actually had it for him in that same favor, 9-3. Let me go ahead and look it up real quick, and I can get it for you. Yeah, actually, I was, looks like, yeah, all 3 of them said that Andres Campos won 3 rounds. They had it 117, 111. That's pretty fairly consistent with what I had it. I think that those rounds that Campos did win were won just on being active, being busy, in rounds where Sonny Edwards kind of either took a blow, took a rest, or he wanted to be as active in those rounds. Overall, you guys let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about that fight and who you guys want to see Sonny fight next. Is Sonny Edwards the next undisputed champion, 112 pounds? Is he the next undisputed champion that the UK is going to have? You guys give me your thoughts. We'll continue to follow this story as we get closer to possibly a unification fight between him and Bam Rodriguez, or him and Julio Cesar Martinez. But for me, as well as for T, appreciate you guys for listening. I'm out. Peace.